Welcome back everyone to Streaming the Galaxy. My name is Rocket Riley and today we're going to be going over a frame-by-frame breakdown of the second trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, which dropped some huge bombshells on the Marvel multiverse, including the confirmation that the Sinister Six will be in the film, setting the stage for one of the craziest crossovers since Avengers Endgame. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video. Now, let's take a deeper look into all the clues and Easter eggs you may have missed in the trailer.
Ever since I got bit by that spider, I've only had 1 week.
The trailer starts us off with an injured Peter Parker sitting in the rain, and then the same shot we saw in the first trailer of Peter and MJ swinging across Times Square in front of the banners from the Daily Bugle portraying Peter as Spider-Man with the tag Public Enemy No. 1. We again see Peter and MJ standing on top of a large structure surrounded by news helicopters. Peter says he's only had 1 week since he was bitten by the spider, that his life felt normal, and that was when MJ found out he was Spider-Man, which is probably true since finding out you've gained the abilities of a spider overnight is probably quite overwhelming. The two jump down and into a tunnel, barely missing a subway as they fly by. We see a shot of Peter entering the New York Sanctum, still full of snow and ice, as well as the shots from the first trailer where Peter caused Doctor Strange to botch the spell where everyone would forget that Peter was Spider-Man. Doctor Strange is still wearing the Eye of Agamotto, even though Thanos destroyed it in Avengers Endgame. This has led some to theorize that either this isn't the Doctor Strange that we know, or that he repaired it to house a different mystical artifact. Doctor Strange then says that since Peter botched the spell, they've been getting some visitors from every universe, which can only mean the Sinister Six and potentially Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. We then see the first shot of Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in the bridge fight scene after he throws a pumpkin bomb onto the bridge. This is one scene that we've seen quite a lot of, with many different angles and shots shown of the different villains in this particular battle. We then see lightning blasting down towards Peter, shot by the Sinister Six member Elektra. We see Spider-Man in his black and gold suit during this particular battle, and then Alfred Molina's Doc Ock ripping up through the asphalt with his robotic arms in the previously mentioned bridge battle sequence. We again see Doc Ock say, "Hello, Peter," and then some fight sequences between the two that we have yet to see, showing Peter jumping over one of the robotic arms and then sliding under a concrete tube being swung at him. We then see Peter being held upside down by Doc Ock below the bridge, and he transitions his armor to cover his chest instead of his face as Doc Ock slams Peter into a concrete pillar. In this shot, he seems to be missing some of his suit powered by nanotech, similar to how Tony lost some of his Iron Man suit in the fight with Thanos on Titan. Peter's suit is likely missing pieces due to the battle, and at this point, he has to shift his armor to the places where it's needed the most to keep him protected. You can even see his tie hanging down from his body before it's covered by the nanotech as Doc Ock slams him into the pillar. Doc Ock then says, "You're not Peter Parker," which shows us that the Doctor must know something strange is going on. He was expecting to see Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man under the mask, but instead got Tom Holland, leaving him with a puzzled and somewhat disappointed look on his face. He then hurls a car at Peter, and he does a backflip over it, similar to how Rey flipped over Kylo Ren's ship in Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. We then see Ned, MJ, and Peter questioning Doc Ock in what looks like the basement of the New York Sanctum, based upon the lighting and aged decorations. Doc Ock is in a concrete prison cell-like structure in the basement as well, but you'll notice that there's no door to the cell. He's likely held in the cell by some of Doctor Strange's spells, since a concrete cell wouldn't be able to hold Doc Ock anyways. The three friends ask him what his name is, and he says Dr. Otto Octavius, to which they laugh and ask what his real name is. We can also see that Ned is holding a crossbow. He may have grabbed it to try to help during the battle, but a crossbow like this is not likely to be much help in a battle against the great Dr. Otto Octavius. We then see a structure being built with what looks like the Statue of Liberty holding the iconic Captain America shield. This construction site displays a banner of the figure holding the shield high, and we can see the shield clearly above the structure. Next we see Peter swinging above some trees between power lines, and as he shoots out a web, a gold bolt follows it out. This could be part of a tech advancement made to assist in fighting Jamie Foxx's Elektra, or as part of an enhancement made to the suit by Doctor Strange to help fight any of the new multiversal threats. We then see Peter again in the black and gold suit standing in front of Elektra, who seems to be powering up, and as Peter raises his arm, golden rings form around his wrist, quite similar to the ones we see on Doctor Strange when he performs spells. This is most certainly some sort of upgrade made to the suit by Doctor Strange to help fight or contain the multiversal villains. The suit also has rune-like markings on it, so it's possible that the entire suit was made by Doctor Strange. Strange then tells Ned, MJ, and Peter to Scooby-Doo this crap, to which MJ replies that he should say please, and Strange obliges. In the background we can see a mop bucket, which could be placed there in an effort to try to clean up the sanctum. If this is the case, then it probably won't help because they're going to need a lot more than a mop to clean that place up. MJ is also seen wearing the broken Black Dahlia necklace that Peter gave to her in Spider-Man Far From Home, showing how their relationship has continued up to that point. We again see Peter swinging through power lines in his black and gold suit, followed by a lightning and sandstorm destroying a building surrounded by news vans, including a van from the Daily Bugle. We see J. Jonah Jameson in a wide-angle shot of the destruction being caused by Electro and Sandman. We again see Doc Ock in his cell, but this time we can clearly see that his robotic arms are a different color than usual. Now they're covered in red plating rather than the normal silver plating, perhaps trading out some old technology for some of Peter and Tony Stark's tech. We see several more sequences from the bridge battle scene, including Peter in his iron spider suit, and Doc Ock says that he's fighting ghosts. Doctor Strange clarifies that these villains all died in their own universes fighting Spider-Man, calling it their fate to die at the hands of Spider-Man. Next we see Peter in what looks like the Spider-Man PS4 costume, but with gold accents instead of white ones, jumping out toward one of Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs just as it explodes, followed by a shot of all the destruction caused by the villains at that same site. Doctor Strange then says he's sorry to Peter, to which he replies, "I'm sorry too," and he slings a web towards Strange, grabbing a box which is likely being used to house the multiversal villains. We then see Strange use his sling ring and a magic whip to pull Peter out of the sky and push his astral form out of his body as he's holding the mystical box. We then see another version of the train battle between Strange and Peter, as Peter says there has to be another way, talking about how Strange says the multiverse of villains have to die since it's their fate. We get the iconic shot of Doc Ock grabbing Spider-Man by the head with his robotic arm, and an up-close look at his updated Stark Tech-looking plates on his robotic arms. We again see Jamie Foxx's Elektra fighting Peter in a construction site, likely the same as the Statue of Liberty Captain America figure we saw earlier. But Elektra looks much different from his original appearance in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Instead of having blue skin and blue lightning, now he looks much more like the comic book version of the character, with yellow lightning shooting from his hands and covering his face. He also seems to shoot a lightning blast at Doc Ock, causing him to fall off the structure. This could be because Elektra was not being cautious, but I believe it's because Doc Ock actually started helping Peter to find a way to keep the Sinister Six alive. I mean, who wouldn't want to see those two team up? Next we see Peter standing on top of the Statue of Liberty's head, and in the shot he's still holding the box he took from Doctor Strange. We then finally get an up-close look at the updated Green Goblin costume as he hovers on his glider, and Spider-Man in his new suit. We see a figure that looks like a maskless Green Goblin fly towards the camera, but it's hard to tell if this is potentially someone else. Peter and MJ kiss, and we see the Department of Defense Control surround Happy, wielding guns pointed directly at him. Next we see golden rings explode out from the statue under construction, similar to when Peter botched Doctor Strange's spell at the beginning of the trailer. We see the Lizard and Electro squaring off for battle against Peter, along with the huge figure of Sandman. Peter lands on the Statue of Liberty's head, and you can see the giant shield in the background. The fight between the three villains and Peter begins, and we notice that Ned and MJ are on the statue as well, as the giant shield begins to fall, tearing the structure apart. MJ also begins to fall, and Peter jumps towards her, very similar to the scene when Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man tried to save a falling Gwen Stacy, but failed. I really hope that's not the case here, as they seem much closer now. Lastly, we see the Statue of Liberty surrounded by what looks like cosmic tears in the sky to other universes, and they look quite similar to images we've seen in What If and Loki, both of which gave us greater insight into the Marvel multiverse. Doctor Strange then says, "They're starting to come through and I can't stop them," which could mean that either more villains are coming or that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man are coming. Either way, it'll be so exciting to see what Strange meant by this. This trailer gave us a ton of information to go off of, but it didn't include any depictions of Eddie Brock or Venom. In an after-credits scene in Venom Let There Be Carnage, the two were transported to the MCU and saw Tom Holland's Peter Parker on a television. This can only mean that Venom 2 will appear in the film. Finally, we didn't get any specific confirmation that Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield will appear in the movie, but since the villains they fought in their own movies appear, and because Doctor Strange says it's their fates to die at the hands of Spider-Man, it can kind of be assumed that they'll make an appearance. Even if they don't, I'll be so pleased to see Willem Dafoe and Tom Hardy come together in the MCU when the film is released on December 17th. Well, that's going to be everything from us today on Marvel's newest trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more great content. What are your theories about the new trailer? Will Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield make appearances? We'd like to know what you think, so drop your thoughts in the comment section below. From everyone here at Stream in the Galaxy, we hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.